The Hamilton Southeastern Lady Royals are ranked number 1 in the state of Indiana, and they come in winning their first 7 games in a row and winners of their last 24 regular seasons contests. And they hope to continue that streak tonight as they welcome the Lady Arabians from Pendleton Heights. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lady Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. My name's Brian Scott. Hope you enjoy tonight's contest between the Royals and the Arabians on ASO. Hamilton Southeastern coming off of a rather lopsided victory on Saturday as they defeated Harrison by the score of 62-21. It was a 21-6 game after the end of the first quarter, and really no reason for Hamilton Southeastern to look back on that game. Taya Reimer led with 27 points in that contest, also picked up 7 rebounds, 11 points for Jessica Pongonis, and Lindsay Walton finished with 7 points, a couple assists, and 5 rebounds in that contest. And it was really not much to say for Hamilton Southeastern on that day because they got off to such a big lead and just really never had much of a contest to finish out that game. Tonight they'll face a 5-2 Lady Arabians team that comes in off of a loss. They lost to Mount Vernon back on December 1st, which was Saturday, by the score of 56-33, dropping them to 5-2 on the season. The head coach for Pendleton Heights is Holly Hollinger. She is 5-2 in her first year at the helm of the Lady Arabians and 36-77 in her 6th year coaching overall. The head coach for the Hamilton Southeastern Lady Royals is Chris Huppenthal. He's 136-29 in his 8th year at Hamilton Southeastern and 311-67 in his 17th year overall. Hamilton Southeastern, of course, is led by Taya Reimer. Taya comes into tonight's game averaging just a bit over 22 points per game and averaging just shy a double-double, a little fewer than 10 rebounds. And Pendleton Heights is led by Kenzie Guston, who averages a little over 19 points per game. And their big rebounder is Kiwana Cottrell, but she is averaging just shy of about 4 rebounds a contest. Before we talk more about tonight's contest, let's have our national anthem. That's our national anthem here at Hamilton Southeastern High School as we get ready for the tip-off between the Lady Royals and the Lady Arabians. Let's go ahead and give you our starting lineups. First off, for Coach Hollinger's Lady Arabians, they come in again with a record of 5-2. They will start a 3-guard lineup. Starting at a guard is a senior, Megan Dawson. The other guard is also a senior and leading scorer, Kenzie Guston. The third guard is a senior, Tiffany Wirtz. At forward is a senior a junior, Kiwana Cottrell, and the other forward is also a junior, Taylor Siefkin. So once again in the backcourt for the Lady Arabians, it will be Dawson, Guston, and Wirtz, and in the front court, Cottrell and Siefkin. Those are your 5 starters for Pendleton Heights. For Coach Huppenthal's Lady Royals, pretty much the same starting lineup we've seen most of this season. Starting at a guard is a 5'4" sophomore, Taylor Graham. The other guard is a 5'8" junior, Lindsay Walton. The third guard at swing is a 5'8" senior, Casey Hornbuckle. Starting at 1 forward is a 6'1" senior, Jessica Pongonis, and the other forward is a 6'3" senior, Taya Reimer. So once again in the backcourt for Coach Huppenthal it will be Graham, Lindsey Walton, and Hornbuckle, and up front, Pongonis and Reimer. Those are your starters tonight for the Lady Royals from Hamilton Southeastern. Pendleton Heights in this series over the last 10 years has not found a whole lot of success against Hamilton Southeastern, but we could say that for a whole lot of teams out there. Over the last 10 years, Hamilton Southeastern owns a 9-1 record in this series, including a 64-33 victory last season at Pendleton Heights. Starters are being introduced. Hope you can sit back and enjoy Lady Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. Our next broadcast of Royals basketball, to remind you, will be this Friday night. It will be a boys-girls varsity doubleheader as the boys and the girls teams travel to Noblesville to take on the Millers, and always a tough place to play at the Mill. If you don't have your tickets already from the Hamilton Southeastern Athletic Office, you might just want to tune us here on Audio Sports Online, because I can almost guarantee you that game's going to be sold out, as they always bring a big crowd into the Mill to begin with, and with the Royals coming in, that's like just a guaranteed sellout. So if you don't already have your tickets, make sure you tune in Friday night. It will be an audio-only game, but we'll have it for you on Audio Sports Online. Taya Reimer is set to jump center. She will be jumping against Kiwana Cottrell. Sit back, relax. Hope you enjoy Southeastern basketball tonight on Audio Sports Online. Ball is in the air, and it's the Royals clad in white that have the opening tip. Skip pass over to Taylor Graham as the white-clad Royals and the green-clad Pendleton Heights Lady Arabians, and we will see kind of a 2-1-2 zone. Here's Taya Reimer. Makes a dribble, goes baseline, shot no good, but there's Jessica Pongonis for the putback in the first 2 points here in this contest. Arabians with the basketball, and they meet a Southeastern press. As the basketball gets to Tiffany Wirtz, she will send it down low to Kenzie Guston. Her shot's no good. Rebound controlled by Taylor Siefkin. Sure shot's no good, and getting the bucket in the hoop and the harm is Taya Reimer. As credit Taya with a bucket and send her to the line for free throws. Taylor on the season, a 57% free throw shooter. Kiwana Cottrell with her first team foul against Pendleton Heights. As Taya's free throw is up and good, she completes the three-point play, and Southeastern's quickly out in front, 5-0 with 7:08 left to go in this first quarter. Here's another steal as Taya Reimer steals the ball, lays it up, puts it in, and quickly, just like that, 7-0. The Royals are out in front as Pendleton Heights with all sorts of problems with this press. They finally get the ball into Cottrell. Cottrell, right side, sends it down low to Siefkin. Siefkin makes a nice spin move in right underneath the basket, and Taylor Siefkin gets Pendleton Heights on the board. They trail by 5 with 6:39 left to go in the opening quarter. Lindsey Walton to Taylor Graham. As again, they look over this zone by Pendleton Heights. Skip pass over the top of it to Graham. Graham left side to Walton. Back to Taya Reimer, who pops the three. It's up. Nope, they'll say Taya's foot was on the line. It's a 2, but it stretches the lead to 7 at 9-2. Cottrell has her pocket picked by Lindsey Walton, and Walton puts it up and in. And right now, Southeastern's defense causing all sorts of havoc for the Lady Arabians as they get the ball into the front court as Megan Dawson gets double-teamed on the sideline, and we are going to have a 5-second call. No, we're going to have a timeout. So Coach Holly Hollinger calls a timeout as she watched Megan Dawson up against the sideline with a double team from the Royals. And she will call the timeout as Hamilton Southeastern has jumped out on top 11-2. And we have played just over 2 minutes and 5 seconds in this first quarter. 7 points from Taya Reimer. A couple of easy baskets on defensive steals in the Arabian backcourt. No changes out of the timeout as key in the inbound will be Tiffany Wirtz for the Arabians. She gets it left side to Guston. Back to Wirtz. Wirtz will go up top. This is Megan Dawson, guarded by Taylor Graham, 3 versus 3. They leave it over to Cottrell, and Cottrell almost has her pocket picked by Taya Reimer, but it'll go off of Reimer, and the ball will stay in the hands of Pendleton Heights. 5:43 left to go first quarter. 11-2, Southeastern with a lead. Arabians having all sorts of problems with this Southeastern defense. They feed the ball down low finally, and they get Kenzie Guston, their leading scorer, gets the easy bucket, and it's 11-4, Hamilton Southeastern. So Guston is their leading scorer, averaging 19.4 points again. Lindsey Walton, her 3 off the front of the iron. Rebounds controlled by Guston. She will go left side. Here's Wirtz for 3. And Tiffany Wirtz with a big 3-point basket from the left wing. Wirtz on the season. It was only her 8th 3-point basket of the season. As a team, Pendleton Heights was shooting only 25% from beyond the arc. Compared in Hamilton Southeastern, about the same. Pongonis gets double teamed, now loses the basketball in the hands of Megan Dawson. Dawson to Wirtz left side. Will leave it off. Here is Guston. Her 3 is no good. Lindsey Walton has a long rebound for Southeastern, but is tied up by Wirtz. And the possession arrow will favor the Arabians. 11-7, that's our score. Arabians trail, but they do have the basketball with 4:36 left to go first quarter. And on the inbounds, kick ball is called against Casey Hornbuckle, and Arabians Wirtz will once again trigger the inbound. She gets it into the hands of Guston. Guston up top to Dawson. Dawson working against Taylor Graham. Dribbles right side. Gives it back up top to Cottrell. Back over to Dawson. Cottrell beyond the arc. Reimer sags off of her as they get the ball back into the hands of Guston. And now we'll have a whistle. The shot was good, but not before Tiffany Wirtz is called for traveling. So Wirtz hits the 3, but shuffles her feet before she gets the ball off, and the turnover cost the Arabians a big 3 and gives the ball back to Southeastern, up by 4 as we approach the midway point of quarter number 1. Hornbuckle with the basketball up top. Taylor Graham, right side, Lindsey Walton. They look to Reimer in the post, gets it. Nice entry pass, and Reimer finishes it off. 9 points for Taya, 13-7 lead for Southeastern. Once again, full court pressure applied by the Lady Royals. Broken by Wirtz. Wirtz gets it into the front court, but it gets into the hands of Pongonis. Jess brings it into the front court and was looking to feed Casey Hornbuckle, and Casey wasn't looking for the basketball, and it goes out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Pendleton Heights. They trail by 6. Guston looking to get the ball inbounds. They do so. As they move the ball back up top to Dawson. 3:25 left to go first quarter. Royals up by 6. From the right elbow, Guston with a nice shot. As Kenzie Guston now has 4 points. And the Royals bring it into the front court, now up by 4 with 3:08 in the first quarter. Good skip pass to Casey Hornbuckle. Didn't see Pongonis in the lane. Instead gets it to Reimer, and Reimer, with the defender hanging all over her, forces it up and gets the bucket. So Taya on fire in this first quarter. And here's a long-range 3 by Guston. It's no good. Here's Taylor Graham with a rebound. Poked away from behind by Kiwanis Cottrell. But Southeastern will retain possession. Megan Walton now coming in. She will take over for Casey Hornbuckle. First substitution of the contest. As we were looking at the starting lineups, or the lineups in general for the varsity game, Coach Hollinger only has about 6-7 quote-unquote varsity failures. Nice touch pass to Taya Reimer. Good ball fake by Megan Walton, and she sinks the shot. We've mentioned before, Megan's starting to use that shot fake to great effectiveness. And she did so once again on a nice touch pass from Taya Reimer. Lead is back to 17-9 for Southeastern. 2:17 left to go first quarter. Guston long range three. That's no good. It goes off the side of the rim. Out of bounds, and the ball goes back to Hamilton Southeastern. 11 points so far in this first quarter for Taya Reimer. We still have 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. 8-point lead for the Royals. As Lindsay Walton goes right side to Taya Reimer, to Graham, to Megan Walton in the corner. Megan backs it out. Was looking for Pongonis, but Pongonis trying to find some room in the post. Megan with the basketball. Drops it out. Taya Reimer skip past Lindsay Walton. Three ball on the way is good. Well, second time that Taya Reimer has come away with a beautiful touch pass at the free throw line. This time she finds Lindsay Walton for three, and we are going to have a timeout called with 1:43 left to go first quarter, and Hamilton Southeastern already up by double digits. They lead the Pendleton Heights Arabians by the score of 20-9. You are watching Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online. Tonight's game brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Make sure that you checked out their free Christmas light display now through January 1st. Part of the community and a proud sponsor of Royals basketball. That's Reynolds Farm Equipment. With 1:43 left in this opening quarter, Hamilton Southeastern's defense led to some early baskets. And now Taya Reimer, who has taken over with 11 points in this first quarter, has both defensively and offensively not only putting the ball in the basket, but with some nice assists. Maddie Taylor now in for the Royals. She takes over for Taya. The Ravens move it in, and a nice steal by Megan Walton. She gives it up to Lindsay. Lindsay tries to find Maddie Taylor. Maddie can't hold on to the basketball. Goes out of bounds. Good anticipation there as they anticipated the pass into the low post. Intercepted it, and that set up the break. But Maddie couldn't hold on to the basketball, and we'll give the ball back to the Arabians, who trail by 11. Dawson to Wirtz. Wirtz dribbles around, drives right side of the lane, blocked by Pongonis. Jessica left side, leaves it off for Megan. Megan skipped past to Taylor Graham. Graham finds Taylor underneath, and an over-the-back foul is going to be called against Taylor Siefken. Trying to deny that entry pass into the low post, but Siefken goes over the back, trying to go through Taylor. That's her first team foul, number 2 against the Arabians, as Brittany Goggins comes in. She'll take over for Taylor Graham, as Lindsay Walton will trigger the inbound from the baseline. 1:03 left to go first quarter. Southeastern up by 11. And a lot of miscommunication there, as Lindsay was going to throw to Pongonis, but Pongonis was already making a move toward the top of the key, and Lindsay throws it out of bounds. Under a minute left to play first half. As they get the ball into the hands of Kiwanis Cottrell, she drives baseline, shot no good. Loose ball on the court. It's retrieved by the Arabians. And they'll say it went out of bounds off of Hamilton Southeastern. 48 seconds remaining in this first quarter. 20-9, the Lady Royals with the advantage. Tiffany Wirtz to trigger the inbound for Pendleton Heights. And she'll throw it in the backcourt to Megan Dawson. 45 seconds remain in this first quarter. An 11-point lead for the Lady Royals. This is Guston. Tries to throw it into the post to Siefken, but it's stolen. Here's Megan Walton. She will take it, lay it off with the right hand, left it short. Loose ball is finally controlled by Pendleton Heights. Megan Dawson with the basketball, right side to Wirtz. Back to Dawson, all alone for three from the top of the key. It's no good. Guston with a rebound. 14 seconds remain in this first quarter. And the Arabians trying to hold for the final shot. Here's Cottrell. 6 seconds remain. She'll make a move. Drive baseline goes up. And she's going to be bailed out as the foul is going to be called against Hamilton Southeastern with 3.2 seconds remaining in this first quarter. It'll go against Maddie Taylor. It's her first, and it's the team's first in this first half, and it'll send Cottrell to the line for two. Cottrell is a 43% free throw shooter on the season, and she hits the first of two. One more free throw coming for Cottrell. She could put the deficit back to single digits by hitting it, but she is unable to do so. But she forces through, gets the bucket, and draws another foul. She knew as soon as she released it, the shot wasn't going to be good. She followed the shot, got the bucket, and drew the foul. And the foul is going to go against Jessica Pongonis. So now Cottrell with a chance to make a three-point play, and she does, as the Arabians come away with 4 points on that. And as the clock winds down here in the first quarter, and Hamilton Southeastern, who had been up by 11, finds themselves now up by 7 as we head to the second quarter. Hamilton Southeastern leads Pendleton Heights by the score 20-13. Back with second quarter action. This is Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. Want to remind you that Reynolds Farm Equipment is a proud supporter of Hamilton Southeastern basketball. They've been in this community for many, many years, and they're a proud supporter of all Royals athletics. Make sure you check out their free Christmas light display now through January 1st. Visit them on the web at reynoldsfarmequipment.com. Taya Reimer with 11 points in that first quarter. Lindsey Walton had 5, and Jessica Pongonis and Megan Walton with a bucket each, as the Hamilton Southeastern Lady Royals lead 20-13 as we head into quarter number 2. Kiwanis Cottrell was able to cut into that deficit as she got a free throw and then ended up getting her own rebound on the missed free throw and getting the bucket and converting the three-point play to cut the deficit to 7 for the Lady Arabians. To begin the second quarter, Brittany Goggins, Taylor Graham, Megan Walton, Maddie Taylor, and Taya Reimer. The entry pass from Goggins to Reimer is intercepted by Guston. And here come the Pendleton Heights Lady Arabians. Wirtz tries to get it down low into the hands of Siefkin, and a nice defensive play by Maddie Taylor knocks it out of bounds. But we'll keep it down here at the Arabians' end. On the court for Coach Hollinger is Megan Dawson, Tiffany Wirtz, Kenzie Guston, Kiwanis Cottrell, and Taylor Siefkin. They're starting 5. Dawson with a basketball, guarded by Goggins. Guston back to Dawson. As Royals stay in that man-to-man defense. Kicking the ball out was Cottrell to Dawson. Dawson working on Goggins, gets around her, throws it up off the glass. It's no good. Wirtz with a rebound, and now we have a foul who's going to be called against Southeastern. Royals coaching staff may be looking for the traveling violation. Instead, they get the foul call against Maddie Taylor. That's her second, team foul number 3. So Guston will trigger the inbounds from the baseline. She gets it in the hands of Wirtz. Wirtz back up top to Dawson. Left side to Guston. Guston guarded by Reimer. Gets around the screen. Drives baseline. Throws up the layup. Leaves it short. Taylor had the rebound briefly. Graham corrals the loose ball. Here's Reimer. Right side. Megan Walton. Back to Reimer. Reimer back to Walton. Megan's 3 from the corner is long. Rebounded by Siefkin. And on the pass from Dawson to Guston, it's knocked out of bounds by Taya Reimer. And with 6:37 left to go in the first half, our score remains as it did after the end of the first quarter, 20-13 Royals. Guston, lob entry pass to Cottrell. She gets the bucket. Nice entry pass from Guston, a lob pass over the defense. Cottrell finishes it off, and the lead's down to 5 for Coach Huppenthal's Royals. Megan Walton with the basketball up top to Goggins. Goggins left side to Graham. Graham to Reimer, and Reimer finishes it off. Good ball movement by Hamilton Southeastern. Graham with a nice entry pass into the low post to find Reimer, and Reimer has 13 points to make it a 22-15 game with 6 minutes left to go, second quarter. Siefken with the basketball, guarded closely by Megan Walton, and now stolen by Goggins. They were trying to get to Megan Dawson, but Brittany Goggins intercepted the pass, and the ball is a foul called against. A blocking foul will go against Megan Dawson. That's her first, team foul number 3. Goggins will leave as Taylor Graham returns. And Jessica Pongonis is in for Maddie Taylor. Skyle Baird is now in for the Arabians. Pongonis leaves it off to Reimer. Reimer left-hand dribble. Skips over to Taylor Graham. Graham tries to give it. It was Kaylee Huppenthal also now in the game. And Taylor's pass is a little high, and it goes through Huppenthal's hands out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Pendleton Heights. So on the court for your Lady Royals, Taylor Graham, Kaylee Huppenthal, Megan Walton, Taya Reimer, and Jessica Pongonis, as the Arabians finally get it into the front court. And they will find underneath the basket all alone Taylor Siefken, who has an easy 2 to cut the deficit back down to 5 with 5:25 left to go first half. Megan, top to Kaylee Huppenthal. Huppenthal around a Pongonis screen, goes left side to Graham, back to Huppenthal at the top. Right side to Megan Walton. Looking to attack the zone, get something down low, but here's Taya Reimer's 3 from the corner. It's no good. Graham with a rebound to Pongonis from 14 feet away. And Jessica Pongonis now has 4 points. And we are going to have a timeout, a 30-second timeout called with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And Hamilton Southeastern up 24-17. You're watching Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online. Our next broadcast here on ASO will be Friday night, a boys-girls varsity doubleheader coming to you from Noblesville as the Royals take on the Millers at the Mill. If you haven't got your tickets for a game that's going to be surely sold out, make sure you tune in to ASO Friday night, as both the boys and the girls varsity games will be on ASO. They will be audio only, but you can hear them both here on ASO. No changes out of the timeouts as Dawson inbounds to Guston, to Baird, back to Guston, and Guston gets it into the front court. Guston to Dawson, guarded closely by Taylor Graham. Here is Guston, 3, long-range 3, off the rim, no good. Huppenthal with a rebound for Southeastern. Kaylee left side to Megan Walton. Megan Walton finds Pongonis, left elbow, shots up and good. 6 points for Jessica, and the lead's back to 9 at 26-17. 4:30 left to go in the first half. Trap at the midline, midcourt. Here's Taya Reimer with an easy steal. 15 points for Taya in this half-court press, giving the Arabians all sorts of problems. Almost an over and back, no whistle. And it's Guston now gets it over to Dawson. Megan Dawson gets the double team, manages to get it over to Guston. Guston tries to take it up, looking for a foul. Instead, they'll say it went off of Reimer as Kenzie Guston will trigger the inbound. Megan Walton and Taylor Graham will take a seat. Casey Hornbuckle and Lindsay Walton will return for Southeastern. Up by 9 as the Arabians get the ball inbounds with 3:55 left to go in this first half. Kenzie Guston with the basketball up to Megan Dawson. Dawson guarded by Huppenthal. Gets around a screen, drives baseline, little floater is too long, and the rebound's controlled by Jessica Pongonis. Pongonis to Lindsay Walton. As Walton will get it into the front court. Right side to Huppenthal. Looking to feed Pongonis in the post. Instead kicks it left side back to Walton, back to Huppenthal. Huppenthal now gets to Jessica. Turnaround jumper from 8 feet, rims out. And the rebound's controlled by Keawanna Cottrell. Arabians have the basketball. They trail now by 11 with 3:14 left to go first half. Dawson, right side to Gustin. Gustin back to Dawson, guarded by Huppenthal. Looks for another screen, didn't get it. Instead gives the ball back to Cottrell. Left side, this is Baird with the basketball over to Dawson. Under 3 minutes left to go first half. Southeastern leads 28-17. This is Gustin right side, tries to get around Reimer, lays it up, but throws it off the bottom of the rim. Rebound controlled by Tyler Siefken. And Siefken also hit the bottom of the rim, but she's going to get the benefit of heading to the free throw line on a foul called by against Southeastern's Lindsey Walton. That's Lindsey's first, team foul number 4. And Siefken is at the line to shoot a pair. Siefken, a 56% free throw shooter, hits the first of 2. Dawson will leave as Tiffany Wirtz returns for Coach Hollinger's Arabians. One more for Siefken. And Siefken hits them both. She now has 6 points and leads back to single digits, 28-19. Southeastern with the ball now. They look at a bit of pressure by the Arabians. Reimer left side gets it to Huppenthal. Huppenthal to Hornbuckle. As Southeastern looks to swing the ball around once again as Lindsey Walton will set up the offense. Huppenthal, nope, pass stolen. Here is Wirtz, and she will be fouled from behind by Huppenthal. Credit the basket, or count the basket, and send Wirtz to the line, and Huppenthal will pick up her first foul. Wirtz just simply anticipated the pass, and Wirtz, a 76% free throw shooter, is at the line. Wirtz hits the free throw. She has 6 points, and the lead is down to 6 at 28-22. Huppenthal gets the pass into the front court. Skip pass by Reimer to Hornbuckle. Her shot's no good. Here's Reimer coming in, lays it up from the reverse side of the glass in the end. 17 points for Taya. It's back to an 8-point lead for Southeastern. Gustin left side to Wirtz. Wirtz was looking to throw it inside to Taylor Siefken, but throws it out of bounds instead. Lindsey Walton comes in. She takes the place of Kaylee Huppenthal. A minute 50 left to go in this first half. Here's Reimer to Walton. As Lindsey gets it to Megan. Megan takes it inside. Nice dribble drive, and Megan Walton finishes it off. Megan now has 4 points. Leads back to double digits at 10, 32-22. Arabians into the front court. And almost stolen there as Baird had the basketball to Cottrell. Back to Baird. Down low, looking to feed Gustin. It's stolen by Megan Walton. Here's Jessica Pongonis dribbling front court, gives it to Megan Walton, drives, stripped from behind by Gustin. Good strip, and now almost stolen by Pongonis. Pongonis saves it, but into the hands of Cottrell. Cottrell right side Gustin, 3-ball on the way is good. Kinsey Gustin now has 7 points. We're under a minute left to go first half, 32-25 Southeastern. As Lindsey Walton tries to bring it into the front court. Gustin steals the pass. Megan Walton gets it. Now we're going to have a held ball, and the possession arrow will favor Pendleton Heights. 47.9 seconds remain in this first half. 32-25 Southeastern with the lead. They have watched the Arabians make a couple of runs as the lead is back down to 7. Baird right side to Wirtz. 40 seconds remain as Wirtz will give the ball back to Baird, picked up by Taylor Graham. Baird tries to go behind the back. Graham sticking to her. Cottrell with the basketball, guarded by Pongonis. Loses it briefly, but gets the basketball back. Gives it to Gustin. Gustin drives, lays it up. Shot no good, but she's going to head to the free throw line. Kenzie Gustin on the season, an 83% free throw shooter. Lindsey Walton picks up her second personal 16 foul. And that one rims out. Started to go down, hit the back iron, came right back out on Gustin, but she'll have one more free throw. She currently has 7 points. And that one misses as well. Reimer with a rebound. 22 seconds remain in this first half, 32-25 Southeastern. Graham gets it into the front court to Lindsey Walton. Lindsey gives it to Megan, back up top to Taylor Graham. Graham skipped pass to Lindsey Walton. Lindsey was trying to feed it to Reimer, but the pass is stolen. Driving is Baird. Her shot's left short. And underneath, Cottrell can't find the time to put it back up on the rim, and that's how the first half ends, with Hamilton Southeastern leading Pendleton Heights by the score of 32-25. Check back with us in about 6-7 minutes. We'll give you our halftime stats and tell you what's happening in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. You're watching Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online, brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a proud supporter of Hamilton Southeastern athletics, locally owned and operated, and a proud part of the community. You can visit their free Christmas light display from now until January 1st. Visit them on the web at reynoldsfarmequipment.com. Halftime at Hamilton Southeastern. Lady Royals lead the Lady Arabians by the score of 32-25. Halftime here at Hamilton Southeastern, and the Lady Royals lead the Pendleton Heights Arabians by the score of 32-25. Brian Scott back with you as we take a look at what's happening in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Through this early part of the season, of course, Hamilton Southeastern sits atop of the conference. Winners of their first 7 games at 7-0. They are also 4-0 in the conference. Westfield also is now in second place in the conference at 3-1, 7-1 overall. They've won their last 4 after losing to the Lady Royals a couple of weeks ago. Brownsburg is in third place at 2-1 in the conference, 3-2 overall. Fishers is also 2-1 in the conference. They are 4-3 overall this season. Noblesville, who both the Lady Royals and the Royals will be seeing this Friday. Noblesville with a 5-3 record, 1-1 in the conference, and winners of their last 3 contests. Zionsville is 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the conference. McCutcheon is 2-5, 1-2 in the conference, and they have lost their last 2. Avon is 1-3 overall, 1-2 in the HCC. Harrison is 2-6, 0-2 in the HCC, and they have lost their last 5 contests. And rounding out the HCC conference is Lafayette Jefferson, as the Broncos are 2-5 overall, 0-3 in conference play, and they have lost their last 3 contests. Taking a look at what happened over the weekend, Fishers, they lost to Mooresville on Friday night by the score of 55-50. Games on Saturday, Avon defeated Zionsville 52-35. It was the Lady Millers defeating McCutcheon 59-36, and Westfield knocked off Lafayette Jefferson 41-24. In action tonight, Avon is at Mooresville, Lebanon is at Harrison, Logansport is playing at Lafayette Jefferson, and Zionsville is at Western Boone. Looking ahead for the rest of the week, Fishers will be at Carmel Friday night, and Westfield will be at Zionsville also on Friday night. And then rounding out play on Saturday, Harrison will be at Brownsburg, and McCutcheon will play a matinee at Avon. That's your girls' HCC standings and schedule for this week as we get ready for second half action as Pendleton Heights has made their way back out onto the court. Let's give you our halftime statistics. First off, for the visiting Pendleton Heights Arabians, 7 points from Kenzie Guston, 6 points each from Tiffany Wirtz and Taylor Siefkin, and also from Kiwanis Cottrell. That is the extent of their scoring. Megan Dawson played. She did not score, as did Skyle Baird. The Lady Arabians only committed 3 fouls in that first half. No player with more than 1 personal foul. For Hamilton Southeastern, leading all scores with 17 points and 11 points in that first quarter is Taya Reimer. 6 points for Jessica Pongonis, 5 points for Lindsay Walton, and 4 points for Megan Walton. Taylor Graham, Casey Hornbuckle, Kaylee Huppenthal, Maddie Taylor, and Brittany Goggins played. They did not score. No serious foul trouble for Coach Huppenthal's Royals. Maddie Taylor and Lindsay Walton both with 2 fouls apiece. Nobody else has more than 1. Want to remind you once again that Royals basketball is brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment, a proud supporter of Hamilton Southeastern basketball, both here and on the road. They are also a proud supporter of right here in this community. Visit their free Christmas light display from now until January 1st. Visit them on the web at reynoldsfarmequipment.com. As I mentioned, the Royals will be playing Noblesville this coming Friday, and then the schedule starts to thin out as the holidays approach. They will play a home game on the 15th versus Penn before traveling to Fort Wayne Lures on the 21st. We will not be able to bring you that game at Fort Wayne, unfortunately. We will be, though, in Newcastle for the Hall of Fame tournament as Coach Huppenthal's Royals will be playing against a couple of very, very tough teams. And right now the top-ranked Royals, second-ranked Columbus South. That should be a good one to start off that tournament. We're ready for the second half action to begin, and we will have on the court for Hamilton Southeastern the same 5 that started the basketball game. Taylor Graham, Lindsay Walton, Casey Hornbuckle, Jessica Pongonis, Taya Reimer. Same 5 starters for Coach Hollinger's Lady Arabians: Megan Dawson, Tiffany Wirtz, Kinsey Guston, Kiwanis Cottrell, and Taylor Siefkin. There's a 3 from Lindsay Walton. That's off the corner. but Graham gets the rebound to Reimer. Reimer's pull-up jumper from 10 foot, that's long. Pongonis with the rebound, but she has her pocket stripped by Cottrell. 32-25, Royals with the lead. First possession in the second half by Pendleton Heights. This is Cottrell with a basketball. Nice entry pass into the post to Gustin, and Gustin's going to be fouled as she goes under, and she's walking a little gingerly on that right ankle. Foul's going to go against Casey Hornbuckle. That's her first, and they'll send Gustin to the line. Gustin with 7 points in that first half, but 0 of 2 from the free throw line, but she hits the first of 2. We'll mention Gustin coming in was an 80+% free throw shooter. She missed her first 2, but looks to get back on track here in the second half by canning both of them, and she does. Now with 9 points. It's a 5-point Royal lead. Just underway third quarter here at Hamilton Southeastern. Left side Graham. Back to Lindsey Walton as the Arabians go into a zone. Walton, left side back to Graham. Finds Pongonis in the corner. Skip pass back to Lindsey Walton. To Taylor Graham. Graham looking to feed Pongonis in the post. She is battling with Cottrell. Here's Taya Reimer. Long cross court over to Graham. Finds Reimer in the paint. Gets to Pongonis. Pongonis partially blocked by Kiwanis Cottrell, but the ball will stay down here. And the Royals end. Lindsey Walton will trigger the inbound from the baseline for Southeastern. And finds Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle's shot is long. There is Pongonis for the putback. Hits the bottom of the basket board. And the foul is going to go against Taylor Siefkin. That's her second. First personal against the Arabians in the second half. And it sends Pongonis to the line for a pair as Jessica hits the first of 2. Jessica on the season, a very good free throw shooter, about 87%, hits the first of 2. She has one more on the way. She cans them both. Jessica now with 8 points. It's a 34-27 Southeastern lead, 6:40 left to go, third quarter. Skip pass to Wirtz, back over to Dawson. Dawson waits for the double team, loses the basketball. Still looking to battle out of the double team. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Coach Holly Hollinger of the Lady Arabians as she found her guard in a bit of some trouble. Calls the timeout to keep the possession. A 7-point lead for Southeastern. They've led by as much as 11. They have watched Pendleton Heights make a couple of runs to get it down to as low as 5, but each time Southeastern's able to build it back up once again. And Pendleton Heights has never led in this contest as Hamilton Southeastern jumped to a big lead to begin the game. They watched Pendleton Heights claw their way back to only trail by 7 after the end of the first quarter, but that's as close as they've been able to get, except for, again, to get it down to about 5 once or twice. Now the timeout, Wirtz with the basketball. Royals man-to-man defense. Wirtz over to Dawson. Double team comes, but Dawson able to dribble away from it. And now we're going to have a foul as Lindsey Walton was trailing Dawson looking for the double team. Dawson stopped, and Lindsey ran right into her. For Lindsey, that's going to be her third personal. It's only the second team foul, but Lindsey with 3 personal fouls as Kenzie Gustin will trigger the inbound to Megan Dawson. Deck stack ball, Megan Walton will enter the lineup for Coach Uppenthal. Kiwanis Cottrell got the basketball and might have been rattled a little bit by Taya Reimer, who was coming from behind and ended up dragging the pivot foot. Megan Walton will come in for Lindsey. And the Royals will bring it into the front court up by 7. Left side to Hornbuckle. Under 6 minutes left to go, third quarter. Graham over to Megan Walton. Open for a minute, but wasn't looking to shoot the ball. Here's Hornbuckle as they look at about a 2-1-2 zone. Megan Walton skips over to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle to Reimer. Reimer for 3. Off the back iron, no good. Pongonis chases down the loose ball. And now finds Megan Walton. Megan Walton drives in the lane. Little right-hand runner is up and good. 6 points for Megan Walton. The lead's back to 9 for the Royals. 5:22 remains in this third quarter. Left side, Kenzie Guston over to Wirtz. Back to Guston. 3-ball corner is up. It's good. You cannot leave her alone. She has shown that she has some great accuracy from the perimeter. Guston on the season has not hit a lot of three-pointers, but she's normally been putting a foot inside that arc and hitting with regularity. Here is Hornbuckle looking to make the entry pass to Pongones. Instead feeds it out to Graham. Graham will lay it high off the glass with the right hand. No good, but Pongones is there. Her shot is no good, but Jessica hits the putback once again, and Pongones now in double figures with 10 points and an 8-point Southeastern lead. Double team comes on the side, and traveling violation called against Tiffany Wirtz as she was trying to work out of the double team. Casey Hornbuckle heads to the bench. Brittany Goggins on the court now for Hamilton Southeastern, up by 8 with 4:28 left to go third quarter, 38-30. Taylor Graham will bring it into the front court for Hamilton Southeastern, left side to Goggins. Goggins with a basketball shot just in front of the free throw line. No good. Pongones with a rebound. Gives it to Reimer. Reimer back to Goggins. Goggins right side to Lindsey Walton to Taylor Graham. Feeds down into Pongones. Pongones turnaround jumper from 8 foot is up and good. And Jessica Pongones with 6 points in this third quarter, and the lead's back to double figures at 10, 40-30. Cottrell to Wirtz. Wirtz will back it up, guarded by Brittany Goggins. Right hand dribble, backs it up once again. Right side, here's Dawson. She thought about driving, saw Pongones, and wisely backed it back out. Left side, here's Guston all alone for 3. That's off the side of the rim. Good position down low by Siefkin. And on her putback, she's going to be fouled from behind by Pongones. For Jessica, that's only her second personal. It is the third team foul against Southeastern, and Siefkin will head to the line where she is already 2-2. First free throw is up, it's good. One more for Taylor Siefkin. And that one rolls off. Siefkin now with 7 points and a 9-point Southeastern lead. Reimer to Graham, over to Megan Walton for 3. Long-range 3 is off the flange. Reimer with a rebound, little turnaround jumper is no good. Fight for the loose ball as Cottrell and Pongones tie it up. And the possession error will favor Pendleton Heights. 3:05 remain in the third quarter. Southeastern with a 40-31 lead. Arabians with the basketball. Every time they've managed to make a run, that Southeastern defense has stiffened up and led to some easy baskets. And now traveling is an unforced error. Gives the ball back to Hamilton Southeastern. And Coach Hollinger, all she can do is watch and send in a replacement. As Dawson will leave and Skylar Baird will re-enter the lineup. Coach Hollinger with a very, very limited rotation so far. As Goggins with the basketball gives it to Pongones. Pongones to Megan Walton, Walton, right side Pongones, finds Reimer down at the baseline. Reimer backs it up to Megan Walton. Megan to Pongones, nice little dish, and unfortunately Jessica can't finish. Good dish by Megan Walton. And Jessica Pongones, watch that ball go halfway down and come right back out. And a foul will be called. As driving left side was Tiffany Wirtz. And she goes down to the floor. And the foul is going to go against Taylor Graham. That's her first. It is the 14th foul, though, against Southeastern here in the second half, compared to only 1. And now Throwing the ball away was Kinsey Guston. And the ball goes back into the hands of the Lady Royals, up by 9 with 2:25 left to go in this third quarter of play. Graham, left side Goggins, finds Megan Walton. Walton looked at Reimer, but well guarded. Finds Pongonis. Pongonis over to Reimer, and Reimer just sweetly touches it off the glass and puts it in. Timeout called with 2:07 left to go, third quarter. Hamilton Southeastern back up in double-digit lead by 11 as they lead Pendleton Heights 42-31. Taya Reimer now with 19 points in the game. Jessica Bongonis now has 12 points, and Megan Walton has 6 for the Lady Royals. Meanwhile, Kinsey Guston now with 12 points for Pendleton Heights and 7 points for Taylor Siefken. Hamilton Southeastern led by 7 points at the half, and now with 2:07 left to go third quarter, they lead by 11. Brian Scott with you here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Our next broadcast on ASO Friday night, boys-girls varsity doubleheader at Noblesville. And then we'll be back on the air Saturday night as Brian Satterfield's boys team will take on the Lawrence Central Bears here at Hamilton Southeastern. Yours truly back with a call and with video. Saturday night, JV game at 6, varsity game at 7:30 here on Audio Sports Online. Out of the timeout for the Royals, Megan Walton, Taylor Graham, Brittany Goggins, Taya Reimer, and Jessica Pongonis. And it is Skylar Baird, Tiffany Wirtz, Kinsey Guston, Kiwanis Cottrell on the court as the ball goes back and forth. Also joined by Taylor Siefken. Arabians with the basketball, trailing by 11. Into the corner, nowhere really to go with it is Siefken. She'll give the ball off, and a three ball from the corner is up and good by Tiffany Wirtz. Her second three-point basket of the night. She now has 9 points and leads down to 8 as the Royals see some pressure of their own applied by Pendleton Heights, but easily on a good find by Brittany Goggins to Taya Reimer. Reimer is able to break the press, find herself a spot under the basket, and have an easy 2 points. A 10-point lead for the Royals as we approach 1 minute left to go third quarter. Baird pull-up floater is no good. It's long, and Reimer has the rebound. Long outlet pass, Taylor Graham all alone, but she misses the layup. And Cottrell has the rebound for Pendleton Heights. She gets it to Baird, and we have 52 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Tiffany Wirtz pounds the basketball left side, gives it up to Skylar Baird. They find Siefken at the right elbow, but she passes it out. Cottrell makes a move baseline, and we're going to have a foul called against Goggins. For Brittany, that'll be her first, but it will be the 15th foul against Hamilton Southeastern, as Kinsey Guston will trigger the inbounds. Substitutions as Pongonis and Graham leave. Kaylee Huppenthal and Maddie Taylor back into the contest for Southeastern. 39.5 seconds remain third quarter, 44-34, Southeastern with the lead. Guston gets it to Wirtz, Wirtz to Baird. Baird guarded by Huppenthal, left side back to Guston. Guston guarded by Taya Reimer. Wirtz with 30 seconds, right side to Baird. They're looking for Siefken and Cottrell down in the low post. Now I have to go back up top to Wirtz. Wirtz left side to Guston. 17 seconds remain. And ball almost stolen, and indeed stolen by Goggins. Goggins spins around, loses it, gives it to Huppenthal, finds it off the side of the rim. And Reimer, in trying to get the loose ball, ran into Brittany Goggins. And the ball will go out of bounds from the baseline and into the hands of Pendleton Heights with 4.9 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Baird inbounds it to Wirtz. 4 seconds left. 3 seconds. Baird, left side, gives it to Cottrell. It wouldn't have counted if it had fallen. And after the end of 3 quarters of play, Hamilton Southeastern up by 10 as we'll head to the fourth quarter. It's the Royals 44 the Arabians 34. You're watching Royals basketball on Audio Sports Online, brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment, a proud supporter of Hamilton Southeastern. They are also a proud supporter of the community, and it starts right there with the people. Visit their Christmas light display from now until January 1st, totally free. Visit them on the web at reynoldsfarmequipment.com. Back with fourth quarter action in just a moment. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Fourth quarter of action about to begin here at Hamilton Southeastern. Brian Scott with you tonight. As the Royals have led from the start, they've weathered a few Arabian runs, but Pendleton Heights hasn't been able to get the deficit to under 5, and it currently stands at 10 points. To begin the fourth quarter, Kaylee Huppenthal, Megan Walton, Brittany Goggins, Taya Reimer, and Maddie Taylor. Those are the same 5 that ended the third quarter. And now it's stolen away, but saved by Megan Walton. Walton goes up, lays it off the glass with a hand in her face. Tough shot by Megan Walton, but she knocks it down. She now has 8 points, and the lead's back to 12. And this is Tiffany Wirtz, as it's the same 5 on the court. And a nice find as Wirtz finds standing all alone underneath the basket Skylar Baird. And Skyle is able to get the bucket, and it's a 46-36 game. Cross-court pass as the Royals now get it into the front court. Goggins finds Reimer, one dribble, tries to lay it off the left side. She won't get the bucket to drop, the basket to count, but she'll head to the free throw line. Kiwanis Cottrell will be charged with her second. It's only the second team foul against the Arabians, and Reimer, who has 21 points on the night, is back at the free throw line. She's 1 of 1 so far, made one free throw in the first quarter. And that one hits front iron and drops out. Lindsey Walton into the game. She will take over for Brittany Goggins. Meanwhile, Taya at the free throw line, looking for her 22nd point. And that one falls out. Kinsey Guston with a rebound. And the Arabians quickly into the front court. And as Kiwanis Cottrell goes puts the shot up underneath the basket, a whistle, and a foul is going to be called against Southeastern. Blocking foul is going to go against Lindsey Walton. Lindsey wasn't in there for long before she picked up her 4th personal in the 16 foul. Kiwanis Cottrell at the line for 2. Hits the front iron. It's no good. So Lindsey will leave, and Taylor Graham, who got a very short break, is back out on the court. Meanwhile, Cottrell hits the second of 2. 3 of 5 now from the free throw line for Cottrell, 46-37. That's our score. Reimer gets it to Walton, Megan Walton. Walton right side to Graham. Graham to Huppenthal. Kaylee will give it back to Taylor to Megan Walton. Megan Walton, in trying to make the pass, went down hard. Outlet to Kiwanis Cottrell, and Cottrell finishes the fast break. 9 points for Cottrell, and a 7-point lead for Southeastern. Here's Megan Walton. She's trying to give it to Maddie Taylor. It's pinballed around. Taylor Graham gets the basketball. She goes up, and a whistle and a foul will stop play and send Taylor Graham to the line. Taylor Siefkin will be called for her 3rd personal foul. And Taylor Graham will head to the line, where she is a 73% free throw shooter. Taylor still looking for her first points of the night. Let's see if she can get them here at the free throw line. And first one hits back iron and comes back out. Megan Dawson returns for Coach Hollinger's Lady Arabians. Tiffany Wirtz will take a seat on the bench. Meanwhile, Graham with one more free throw. That's short, and Cottrell has the rebound for Pendleton Heights. They trail by 7. 6:28 left to go, fourth quarter. Dawson, guarded by Huppenthal, finally gets to Cottrell. Cottrell harassed by Megan Walton, and now we are going to have a timeout called by Holly Hollinger. And it will be a full timeout because for the third time tonight, Coach Hollinger is forced to call a timeout when one of her players is trapped defensively. And with 6:17 left to go in this fourth quarter, Hamilton Southeastern leads Pendleton Heights by the score of 46-39. Make sure you tune in Friday, boys-girls varsity doubleheader here on ASO, as the Royals and Lady Royals take on the Noblesville Millers. If you don't have tickets to the game, make sure you tune in on ASO. That game is sure to be a sellout, as there are always loud and proud crowds over at Noblesville. And with the top-ranked Lady Royals and the 7th-ranked Royals boys basketball team heading into the mill, there will be a large crowd there, and there will be more than a share of Royal supporters at Noblesville Friday night. So if you don't have a ticket, you can't make it to the game, tune into ASO. We'll have all the action for you right here. That will be audio only. As out of the timeout, no changes made. Dawson triggers the inbound to Gustin. Gustin, nice lob pass into Kiwanis Cottrell. Cottrell has 5 points in the quarter, 11 points in the game. And once again, the deficit's down to 5 for the Arabians. But Taylor Graham gets the basketball, misses the layup. Loose ball underneath, fought for. And we're going to have a foul called as Graham got the loose ball, threw it up. Couldn't get it to drop, but once again, Taylor will head to the line for a pair of free throws. Taylor Siefkin will pick up her 4th personal foul. It's the 4th team foul against Pendleton Heights, and Taylor's back at the line to shoot a pair. She missed her first 2 free throws. Back at the line for 2 more. First one is up. That rims out. Substitutions as Wirtz is back in, and she will take over for Siefkin, who sits down with 4 fouls and 7 points. 5:57 remain in this fourth quarter. Taylor finally hits one. She has her first point in this game and a 47-41 lead for Southeastern. More full court pressure as they look to get the ball into Baird. Baird loses it, and Graham has it for Southeastern. She feeds Reimer. Reimer underneath, tries to lay it off the glass, smacks her hands at the missed opportunity, but will head to the line as Kenzie Gustin will be called for her first personal foul, 15th foul against Pendleton Heights, and Taya Reimer is back at the line. She is 1 of 3 and 21 points tonight. First free throw rims out. Goes about halfway down as Reimer looks in disbelief, comes back out. Taya with one more free throw. That's short. Pongonis with a rebound, puts it back up and in. 14 points for Jessica, and the lead's 8 points. And now we'll have a blocking foul, as bringing it up court was Tiffany Wirtz. And I believe they'll pick on Megan Walton on this personal. It'll be Megan's first personal. It is the 7th team foul. So the Lady Arabians will be shooting the bonus the rest of this contest, and it'll be Tiffany Wirtz at the line for the 1-on-1. She hits the first. It gives her an even 10 points so far tonight, and she'll have one more as she will earn the bonus. Wirtz is a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. She now has 11 points, a 6-point lead for Southeastern. Graham trying to get it to Reimer, throws the ball away into the hands of Wirtz, who will give it up to Dawson. Dawson left side back to Tiffany Wirtz. Wirtz guarded by Megan Walton. Will give it up to Kinsey Guston. Guston back over to Wirtz. Wirtz drives in the lane, right hand. She's going to be fouled as Taylor Graham made sure she couldn't make the layup. Taylor will be hit with her second personal. It's the 18th foul, and Wirtz will head back to the line where she's already 3 of 3 tonight. Didn't want to give up the easy layup, but for Wirtz, who is so far perfect this evening from the free throw line, misses the first. Lindsey Walton will come in for Taylor Graham. Lindsey comes in with 4 fouls and 5 points, trying to give Taylor a bit of a break. Taylor had come out briefly when Lindsey went back in, but Lindsey within the first 30 seconds picked up her 4th personal foul. Wirtz hits the second. And it's back to a 5-point Southeastern lead. This has been as close as Pendleton Heights has been able to get to tonight. Reimer to Lindsey Walton. Walton loses it briefly, gives it to Megan. Megan back to Lindsey. Lindsey right side, Kaylee Huppenthal with the basketball. Gives it to Taya Reimer. 4:47 left to go, fourth quarter, 49-44. Megan Walton touch back to Lindsey Walton. And Lindsey will go down as she's going to be tripped by Kiwanis Cottrell. For Cottrell, that'll be her 3rd personal foul. It is the 16th foul against the Arabians, so Southeastern will be in the bonus as well on the next Arabian team foul. Huppenthal triggers the inbound to Lindsey Walton. Southeastern up by 5. Right side, this is Megan Walton, pardon me. Megan gives it up to Lindsey. Back to Megan. Looking for Pongonis in the post, but Cottrell and Guston doing a good job. Here's Huppenthal. Feeds Pongonis. Pongonis back out to Reimer. Reimer for 3. That's off the back flange, no good. Dawson and Huppenthal fight for their loose ball, and the possession arrow will favor Pendleton Heights. Good find by Pongonis as she saw Reimer up at the top of the key. Reimer stepped back a foot, but still the shot was long. And the Arabians trying to cut down this deficit. A basket will make it a one-possession game. As Wirtz with a basketball, foul is going to be called against Megan Walton. Or are they going to say it just simply went off of Megan out of bounds? So Wirtz is able to knock it off of Megan Walton to keep the possession for Pendleton Heights. They'll throw it into the backcourt to Dawson. Dawson left side, Tiffany Wirtz with the basketball. Guarded by Megan Walton. Looks for a Guston screen, now gives it back to Guston. Guston guarded by Reimer. Makes a move and kicks it back out to Wirtz. Wirtz, right side, this is Dawson, guarded by Huppenthal. Back up top to Guston. 3:40 left to go, fourth quarter, 49-44. Southeastern with the lead. Pendleton Heights with the basketball. Guston makes a move. Tries to lay it into Sky Baird and instead finds Jessica Pongonis. Pongonis to Reimer. Reimer drives, lays it off the glass. Count the basket, put her on the line. The foul will go against Megan Dawson, and that'll be her 7th team foul as Huppenthal gets a good hand as she goes and takes a seat. As back into the game is Brittany Goggins for Hamilton Southeastern. Meanwhile, Taya Reimer looks to complete the three-point play. Casey Hornbuckle. Reimer sinks it. 24 points for Taya Reimer, back to an 8-point lead now for Hamilton Southeastern with 3:19 left to go first quarter. Almost stolen. Here comes the double team. Once again, a timeout called by Coach Holly Hollinger as she once again finds her player in some desperate trouble. And down by 8, and every possession important, she has to burn another timeout. Only one timeout remains for Pendleton Heights, 2 for Hamilton Southeastern. with 3:15 left to go, fourth quarter, an 8-point lead for the Lady Royals. Taya Reimer has 24 points. Jessica Pongonis got that third quarter started. She now has 14 points in this contest. And Kinsey Guston, who was the leading scorer for Pendleton Heights, averaging over 19 points. She so far has been limited to 12, and she has yet to score a point in this fourth quarter. And you can attribute much of that to the defense by Taya Reimer. Out of the timeout, Casey Hornbuckle, Megan Walton, Lindsay Walton, Jessica Pongonis, Taya Reimer, those are the five for the Royals. Skyle Baird, Tiffany Wirtz, Kinsey Guston, Taylor Sipkin, who's back out on the court with 4 personal fouls, and Kiwanis Cottrell. Those are the 5 for Coach Hollinger's Arabians. Baird, left side, gives the ball up to Wirtz. Wirtz working on Lindsay Walton. Lindsay with 4 personal fouls. Gets the ball back to Wirtz. Wirtz to Baird. Baird thought about a 3 and didn't pull the trigger, and her teammates were wishing they had, as working very hard against Lindsay Walton is Tiffany Wirtz, trying to get Lindsay to pick up her 5th foul. Instead, the ball will go out of bounds off of Lindsay, and it will stay in the hands of the Arabians, trailing by 8 with 2:44 left to go, fourth quarter. They get the ball into the backcourt to Baird. Left side to Wirtz, almost picked off by Megan Walton. Here's Guston, drives baseline, cut off by Reimer. Kicks it back out, 3 ball on the way, no good by Wirtz. Siefkin with the rebound. She'll kick it back out to Baird, and the Arabians will set up the offense once again, but time running out here as we're approaching 2:20 left to go, fourth quarter. Cottrell, top to Wirtz. Wirtz left side, and Reimer, anticipating the pass, ran into Guston, and Taya's going to pick up really her first foul. It's the first personal against Taya, but it is the 19th foul, and that's going to send Guston to the line for the 1-and-1. She has been held scoreless in this fourth quarter. She has 12 points, and that one hits front iron, hits back iron, and finally falls off the flange and into the basket. So Guston will get the bonus, and she hits the back end of the 1-and-1. 14 points for Kinsey Guston, a 52-46. Stolen on the inbound is Cottrell, and she will go up, and if this is against Lindsay Walton, she has fouled out. It is against Lindsay. She fouls out of this with 5 points, and she will be replaced by Taylor Graham. Meanwhile, Kiwanis Cottrell is at the line. It is the 10th team foul, double bonus in effect. Cottrell is 3 of 5 from the charity stripe tonight, and the Arabians need some points with the clock stopped, as Hornbuckle, after the release, thought it was a 1-and-1, but it is a double bonus situation. Cottrell, second free throw is good. A 52-47 game with 2:10 remaining in this fourth quarter. Reimer with the basketball. She will give it to Megan Walton. Megan Walton will bring it into the front court. Gives it to Pongonis. Out to Graham. 3 ball on the way. That's off into the corner. That deadened it. Otherwise, Pongonis might have had the rebound. Instead, Siefkin came down with it. Baird guarded closely by Graham. Dribbles right hand. Puts the ball up. It's no good. Pongonis with a rebound. Outlets to Megan Walton. Megan with the basketball. Lays it up. Off the glass and in. 10 points for Megan Walton, a 7-point lead for Hamilton Southeastern. 1:30 left to go, fourth quarter. This is Guston with the basketball. Tried for the 3, blocked by Reimer, and then Reimer's called for the foul. Guston went after the rebound, and they're going to call Reimer for a bit of a hold. It is Reimer's second, but that's going to put Guston at the line to shoot the double bonus, and she's already hit her first two here in the quarter. 14 points for Guston, and again, clock stop, looking to cut into this deficit. She hits the first of two. Megan Dawson is back in. Sky Baird will depart. Baird with 2 points. As Coach Hollinger, again, with a very, very limited rotation. Second free throw by Guston is also good. She's 4 of 4 here in the quarter. And the Arabians making the most of their free throws. They trail by 5, a minute 16. They get it into the front court, do the Royals to Taylor Graham. Megan Walton thought about the three, thought better of it, trying to eliminate some time as Graham gives it to Reimer, back to Graham. Feeds Pongonis. Pongonis with the pass finds Reimer, and as Reimer goes up, the whistle will stop play at 1 minute left to go in the fourth quarter and send Reimer to the charity stripe. Tiffany Wirtz will be credited with the foul. That's her first 18 foul, and Taya Reimer is at the line to shoot a pair. That one hits nothing but the bottom of the net. Reimer now with 25 points. Looking to push this to a 7-point game, 3 possessions. And it's short. Pongonis and Hornbuckle fight for it, but they'll say it went off of an Arabian, and the ball will belong to Hamilton Southeastern. Still a 2-possession game for the Royals. They can make it 3 with a bucket or a free throw here. They lead 55-49 with 58.8 seconds remaining. Megan Walton finds Taylor Graham. Both teams in the bonus, and now a foul called against Megan Dawson. That'll be her 4th. And it's going to send Taylor Graham to the line. Taylor only 1 of 4. And this will be a 1-and-1, as that was only the 19th foul against the Lady Arabians. 55.7 seconds. 1 free throw would make it a 3-possession game. And that's a good free throw by Taylor Graham. After missing her first 3, she's made her last 2. And the lead's up to 7. A 3-possession game for a 3-possession lead for the Royals. And she canned them both. Taylor Graham with some clutch free throws. The lead is up to 8. Wirtz dribbles the ball left side, and she will lay it up and in. Wanting to avoid the foul, here's Graham with a basketball. Finds Pongonis. Pongonis into the front court to Reimer. Reimer finds Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle to Pongonis as the Royals now play keep away. And coming to commit the foul is Kiwanis Cottrell on Taya Reimer. For Cottrell, that's her 4th. Royals able to use up some clock. 31.3 seconds remain, and Reimer is at the line. It is the 10th team foul, so double bonus in effect. And Taya hits front iron, bounces off the backboard, and falls out. If she makes this, though, it will still be a 3-possession lead for the Lady Royals. And that's short. And that's what we've seen from Taya. Long on the first, short on the second. A 6-point lead for Southeastern, but 25 seconds remain. Pendleton Heights, they find Guston in the lane. Her little right-hand runner is up and good. And a timeout is going to be called. As the final timeout called by Holly Hollinger of Pendleton Heights, as she has watched her team battle back to a 4-point deficit, and that's the closest they've been to Hamilton Southeastern since the beginning of this game. Credit Pendleton Heights with some good free throw shooting in this second half, as they are 10 of 13 from the free throw line in this second half. It's Kiwanis Cottrell with a couple of baskets and some big free throws by Kinsey Guston. She had 12 points after the end of the third quarter. And now she's back closer to her season average. She now has 18 points in the game. Out of the timeout for the Arabians, it'll be Megan Dawson, Tiffany Wirtz, Kiwanis Cottrell, Taylor Siefken, and Kinsey Gustin. They're starting 5. And for the Royals, Taylor Graham, Casey Hornbuckle, Megan Walton, Jessica Pongonis, and Taya Reimer. Graham gets it to Reimer. Reimer finds Megan Walton. Megan Walton finds Casey Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle backs it out. 13 seconds, and Kiwanis Cottrell is going to have to make the foul. And for Kiwanis, that's 5 fouls. And Cottrell will sit down, having a pretty good night. She had 6 points in this fourth quarter to help the Arabians close the deficit. She finishes the game with 12 points. Skyle Baird will return to the lineup for Coach Hollinger. And Taylor Graham is at the line where she missed her first 3 but has made her last 3. She has hit it once again. She's hit her last 4. A 2-possession game. And it will stay that way, but it'll be a 6-point Southeastern lead. 12 seconds remain. Baird drives, goes underneath, gives it off to Siefken. Shot no good. They will send it out. Ball is stolen, and that's how this game is going to end. Royals use some good defense and withstand a fourth quarter Arabian rally. But they'll come away with their eighth victory of the season against 0 defeats. And the top-ranked Lady Royals defeat Pendleton Heights by the score of 59-53. Back in a few moments with final stats. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Brian Scott with you as the Lady Royals, the #1 team in the state of Indiana, improved to 8-0. They knock off Pendleton Heights by the score 59-53. Hamilton Southeastern got off to a quick start in the first quarter, and they were able to withstand a few runs by Pendleton Heights. Pendleton Heights using some good free throw shooting in this fourth quarter to cut the deficit to as few as 4, but in the end they couldn't catch up to Hamilton Southeastern, and Southeastern wins by 6. Let's give you our final stats for tonight. For the visiting Pendleton Heights Lady Arabians with 18 points was Kinsey Gustin, 14 points for Tiffany Wirtz, 12 points for Kiwanis Cottrell, 7 points for Taylor Siefken, and 4 points for Skyle Baird. And Megan Dawson played. She did not score. For Hamilton Southeastern, leading all scorers with 25 points was Taya Reimer, 14 points for Jessica Pongonis, 10 points for Megan Walton, 5 points each from Taylor Graham and Lindsay Walton, and Casey Hornbuckle, Kaylee Huppenthal, Maddie Taylor, and Brittany Goggins played. They did not score. Credit Taylor Graham with some clutch free throws down the stretch. She started 0 for 3 from the line in this fourth quarter, but she had all 5 of her points in this fourth quarter, including 5 in a row down the stretch to help keep the Southeastern Royals out in front and win this basketball game tonight. Hamilton Southeastern moves to 8-0 on the season, while Pendleton Heights falls to 5-3. Our next broadcast of Royals basketball on ASO will be this Friday night. It'll be a boys and girls varsity basketball doubleheader that will take place at Noblesville, as both the Lady Royals and the Royals will take on the Millers at the Mill. First game will start at 6 o'clock with the Lady Royals, and then the varsity game with the boys team will begin probably around 8:30, depending on how the girls' games go. We will have all that action for you right here on Audio Sports Online. It will be an audio-only game, as we don't have the facilities at Noblesville to bring you video. But keep it tuned right here to ASO Friday night. If you don't have tickets at Noblesville, guarantee you that's going to be a sellout with the Royals coming into the Mill, and a wild and crazy crowd at Noblesville with plenty of Royal Blue out there from Royals fans as well. You can listen to the game right here on Audio Sports Online. We will be back with video on Saturday night as Brian Satterfield's team welcomes the Lawrence Central Bears here to Hamilton Southeastern. JV game begins at 6 o'clock. Varsity game to follow at 7:30. Yours truly back in action with the call Saturday night as the Royals welcome the Bears here on Audio Sports Online. Coach Uppenthal's team, the top-ranked Lady Royals, improved to 8-0. They knock off Pendleton Heights. Final score, 59-53. This is Brian Scott saying thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you this Friday as the Royals take on the Millers on Audio Sports Online. Until then, so long, everybody.